Hey guys, Dean here. In today's video, we're going to be walking through the highest paid jobs that you can work from home. These are jobs which are mainly freelance jobs, but also a lot of remote work jobs that you can also work for companies or work via contractual basis. These are going to be ranked from the order of the average salary or median salary of some of these jobs. So we're going to start off with number 10 and then progressively work to the first job, which is kind of typically the more higher paid of the jobs. Of course, there are outliers. Some of these jobs that I'm going to mention, which may not be a number one, have the potential to definitely scale and make much more money than some of the high featured jobs. It really depends if you're a freelance worker, if you're working for a company, and how you scale up the work with clients from month to month. So if you want to work from home, then some of these jobs may appeal to you based on your skill set. So let's jump straight into it. So the first one, which is the 12th job I'm going to feature, is data entry. So data entry basically involves you entering information, which is usually from written documents or some kind of paper records, directly into a database system via some kind of data management software or web systems within a specific time frame, and you have to meet certain deadlines. You proofread and you review the entered data to make sure it's accurate, and you have to maintain the security and confidentiality of this sensitive data. You basically will need fast typing skills and good English, but that's kind of the only requirements you need to have. The average salary for data entry is around $23,000. Next up is customer support. So this includes admin work and virtual assistant work. There's a lot of avenues you can go to in customer support. You can support a business by doing the admin work for them and do remote tasks for their business operations. You can work across Excel sheets, use specialized software, organize people, set schedules, manage finances, social media platforms, and there is also sometimes some data entry involved and proofreading activities. They're kind of a little bit of a mix of everything, but for the most part, you're going to be working on a computer. Now, there's many different types, and this is really dependent on the business. For an example, we talk a lot about dropshipping on this website. People hire virtual assistants to deal with orders and support, like customer support reps for e-com businesses too. So you can work with any different business, and it really depends on what they do to determine what kind of work you're going to do in this field. Now, this is very popular and it's very easily available. There's many companies which kind of tended to start going remote during 2020 when there was the lockdowns. So because of this, a lot of them maintained this and kept hiring remote workers. So it's still more popular than it used to be, and it's still lucrative and very available. Now, the average salary for this is around $28,000. This is usually for people who are doing remote assistant work online, and I'd say it's one of the more easier ones to jump into with less experience. Then at number 10, we have event planner and event planning. So as an event planner, you lay out events and you plan the organization of the events by creating and maintaining schedules which include different event types and what people are going to do in said events. So you arrange the licenses, the insurance coverage and legalities, and make sure those are covered. You organize the guests or speakers if it's a professional event, and you secure facilities or venues which are required and make sure any important event goes smoothly, because this is what you're in charge of. Now, you have to work with PR and marketing teams sometimes to promote events where possible or if needed or required. This kind of is a blanket thing to cover things like events such as weddings, which would be a wedding planner, concerts, keynote speaking events, and much more. The average salary for event planning starts at around $30,000. Consulting is also a pretty cool line of work too. You work with businesses if you're freelance on contractual bases, and you specialize in different areas. So this could include everything from marketing, business management and finance, advising, or even social media marketing. This is very flexible, and it requires key knowledge in your particular strength that you're specializing in order to provide guidance and advice on your expertise to improve your client's company or their venture in some kind of way. You need to have good teamwork skills to work with leadership, and the average salary on this one is around $30,000. Graphic design. So this is all about creating graphics and doing image editing and image manipulation. You have to be proficient in softwares like Photoshop, which is obviously the most popular one, GIMP, and other image editing softwares. It really depends on which one you are good at and which one you want to use, but the industry standard is obviously Photoshop. You're going to use fonts, graphics in and images to create everything from flyers, newsletters, social media graphics, and anything that a company needs for their brand. Graphic design is also very popular on YouTube. People want thumbnail designs, channel banners, and logos, so creating these kind of things for individuals or companies is very good and it's in very high demand. The average salary for this is around $31,000. Audio transcription. So this involves you listening to audio, be it podcasts, video clips like YouTube videos, narrations, and type what is said in these audio pieces or what is spoken and write it up as written text. Now this could be spanning a large range of subjects. You transcribe notes and you do video captions in some cases for the spoken words, and sometimes you might even describe the sounds being played, like the sound effects, and write them down in brackets. And you transcribe notes, you do video captions, and you can do this to subtitle YouTube videos or companies' professional marketing videos for other languages. So for this one, you'll need good English skills and grammar because you want to make sure you're not making mistakes, and you also need good hearing, of course, because you don't want to type something which is missaid. The average salary for this is $34,000. You're usually paid per audio or per minute of audio transcribed. Now I personally wouldn't find this very enjoyable, but it's something you can still do from home. The next one is a bookkeeper. So the purpose of a bookkeeper is to keep financial records and process financial transactions for a company. This usually begins with data entry, filling invoices in, issuing types of payments, and chasing up the invoices that need payments making. And you'll usually tend to work on business books for the accountants for the end of the financial year. Now for this job, you'll need good communication skills, you'll need knowledge of accounting software, which is industry standard, and you'll need integrity and morals, of course, because anything in finances where people can mess people over, you're going to definitely need to be a good person to get into this. And you also need to know exactly what you're doing because this is sensitive information. The average salary for this is around $34,000. Video editing. So you're going to be assembling clips together, cutting different clips by making cuts, editing audio, graphics, and special effects and video effects. You need to understand the basic narrative or how a message drives engagement via an edit during post-production on a project. You need knowledge of powerful video editing software, everything from Adobe Premiere, Filmora, Sony Vegas, Final Cut Pro, or DaVinci Resolve. There's a lot of video editing softwares out there, but these are some of the more popular, well-known ones. Now, there's a lot of options with video editing because you can edit for YouTubers, businesses, or do corporate video editing for adverts and marketing projects, or work on films and creative projects too. This has around $35,000 for the average salary. The fourth one is social media marketing. So this is where you create content such as text blocks and posts, video material, and images to market a product, a business, or their service via social media on a platform to increase their engagement. You have to work with organizations and brands to create a social media strategy for them or optimize their social media strategy. You'll need a good knowledge of social media strategies. You'll need to know how to use certain apps like Hootsuite or TweetDeck for Twitter, for an example, and typical automation software, which is quite popular in this space. And you may also need to use bots, which tend to be against the terms of service, but we know a lot of social media marketers use bots, which may be needed, or graphic softwares to create the graphics that you need to advertise. Of course, in some cases, you'll work alongside a graphic designer and you won't need to make these yourself. You'll need to know the main platforms. I'm talking social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, inside out, and how they work. This is around a $36,000 average annual salary. The next is freelance writing. So this involves freelance writing for companies, and it includes writing and editing online or offline material. This involves websites, blogs, magazines, adverts, marketing pieces, etc. This covers everything from content writing and copywriting to writing articles online. You'll need good English language skills just generally for writing, and you'll possibly need marketing skills and knowledge of copywriting if that's the space you're specializing in. Now, in terms of writing articles, they're usually paid for each article that they write and publish, or each piece of writing that they create for someone. Copywriters, they're usually paid per job. They're not paid at an hourly rate. This is obviously how you make the real money too. And also they can get monthly retainers for common work each month or regular repeated work with certain clients each month to get more of a regular income and then scale up the profits too. This is around a $39,000 average salary across creative writing or freelance writing when we're not specifically going into one niche in the space. Then we have web developers and website development. So this is where you build and you design websites for clients or individuals. You can work across the individual or corporate space, days to write and test and debug code to create impressive looking website projects. Basically, if you want to do everything manually, you'll need knowledge of a lot of website programming languages. This includes HTML, CSS, PHP, JavaScript, and other popular website builders or development softwares like WordPress, Dreamweaver, and Joomla for an example. The average for this is $42,000 for the salary, and it's very scalable, and it's really nice to create a portfolio of all of your work on your own website. Number one is software engineer. Software engineers design and build applications for companies and clients on short-term or long-term contractual basis. They create useful web, computer, or mobile-based applications for different kinds of purposes. They work on networks and databases, operating systems, and other platforms. Software developers utilize specific software programming languages. These include Java, C++, Python, and Ruby for an example. You'll need very good project management skills to work as a team, so you'll need very good teamwork when working on these projects, because typically you're not doing everything yourself. Unless you're just building a general website for a client, freelance, then sometimes you might work by yourself a lot of the times. This has around a $50,000 average salary. So that concludes the end of this video. We covered the highest paying jobs to work from home as a freelancer or working on a contractual basis online for a company, or when you're hired by a company and you work remotely from home. Now, there's a lot of ways you can get into these jobs. I do have a video entirely on how to become a freelancer, how to get and then work with clients, and how to scale up your profits and scale up your business. So definitely check that video out. I will link it down in the description and the comments below. Make sure to like the video for more business and travel videos, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.